The UConn Huskies have cruised through the NCAA tournament's first 4 rounds, winning every game by at least 15 with a total margin of victory of 90 points. That's the 9th best margin through 4 games in NCAA tournament history, and I should note that every single team on this list besides UConn was a 1 seed. On the other hand, UConn is just a 4 seed, but has still dominated their way through Iona, St. Mary's, Arkansas, and Gonzaga. In this video, we'll look at the X's and O's and players behind UConn's offense. The Huskies play with fantastic ball movement and player movement. 63% of their made shots are assisted, which ranks them top 10 in the country. They're also top 10 in the country in points generated via off-ball screening action. So like I said, lots of ball movement and player movement. UConn loves to start their offense out with a stagger screen on one side, followed immediately by a stagger screen on the other side. Here Iona is so worried about the potential 3 for Joey Calcaterra, Donovan Clingan is left unguarded on the inside for a dunk. On this play, they flow right into a ball screen after the stagger screens occur, with Adama Sanogo finishing on the roll to the basket. The Huskies don't run a ton of ball screens relative to the average team, but when they do, their off-ball movement and shooting gravity helps open up the paint for the roll to the hoop. A special set UConn uses when Calcaterra and Jordan Hawkins are in the game together is this one here. It starts out with an empty ball screen, but the play is actually designed for 2 pin down screens in a row on the weak side. Calcaterra hit a 3 off of the set during both the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games. However, more often than not, UConn's off-ball screening action is designed for Jordan Hawkins. The sophomore guard has scored 151 points this season on off-ball screens, which ranks 2nd in the entire country. He needs little to no space to get off his shot. According to Synergy Sports, Hawkins is shooting 44% this season on contested 3-pointers. We've seen him knock down those tough hand-in-face 3-pointers in the NCAA tournament. One of my favorite sets that Dan Hurley runs for Hawkins starts in that stagger screen. Hawkins runs like he's clearing out to the weak side, but then quickly turns back around to get a shot from where he came from. It's a great example of how the Huskies use off-ball motion to generate shots for their star players. Speaking of star players, let's talk about Andre Jackson. At 6'6", Jackson is a point forward for UConn. He leads the team in assists and has tremendous feel as a passer. Jackson is especially good at finding the most efficient shots on the court for his teammates. He has 31 assists so far in the tournament. 27 of those have been for either UConn dunks or 3-pointers. So he's great at finding Clingan or Sanogo for a lob, but he also has a knack for finding his shooters for 3s. Watch on this play how he relentlessly crashes the offensive glass, then immediately finds the best shooter on the court for a 3. And this play at the end of the half against Gonzaga shows how he has an uncanny nose for the ball. With the Zags trapping the ball screen, Tristan Newton is looking to pass to Sanogo on the short roll. The pass is off the mark, but Jackson comes out of nowhere to not only scoop up the pass, but then find Alex Caraban for the 3 as time expires. Now, it's not exactly a secret that Jackson is not a shooter. He's shooting just 28% from 3 on the season, and teams like Gonzaga here often choose to sag off of him to provide extra help on other players. But after the game, when questioned about that strategy, Dan Hurley had this to say.
We figured that out. That doesn't work anymore. To be honest with you, it's just, coaching mistakes during the season where it just took me too long to get Andre, to the places where he could still be one of the biggest impact players, in terms of winning or losing. There's not many players in the country that impact the game the way this guy does. So, once I just got better as a coach, and Andre, I wasn't putting him in positions to be successful. And, since we've unlocked that code, he's been unbelievable.
One of the main ways Hurley has unlocked that code is by cutting Jackson down to the dunker spot if the ball goes into the post. Here Timmy is sagging off Jackson, who cuts in for an easy finish. Jackson has great instincts as a cutter to begin with, so his ability to find the opening makes it harder for defenses to get away with helping off of him. Gonzaga got beat in the first half on several different cuts by Jackson after Timmy went to help. In the second half, Mark Few was the one forced to adjust. Notice how Sanogo has the ball in the post here with Jackson in the dunker spot. Instead of sagging off Jackson and doubling Sanogo, Timmy is afraid of giving up a dunk or layup. He stays attached to Jackson, allowing Sanogo to go one-on-one in the post. And speaking of Adama Sanogo, that's the last player we're going to talk about in this video. The 6'9" big man is UConn's leading scorer and rebounder. He's one of the most dominant back-to-the-basket bigs in the country, ranking 11th in points scored off of post-ups while shooting over 57% on those attempts. Sanogo is a safety blanket for UConn to use in the post if their initial off-ball screening action stalls out. But they'll also look for him early in the possession, like here when he gets Jordan Walsh mismatched on it. At 245 pounds, Sanogo has very good footwork for someone his size. He can use his body to overpower defenders in the post, like here he just plays bully ball underneath the hoop against Mitchell Saxon. But he also has great touch around the basket, like on this play when he's the one getting pushed out, but still makes a tough fadeaway jump hook. It's not necessarily a strength of his, but Sanogo even has a little bit of versatility to face up out on the perimeter. Twice in the round of 32 against St. Mary's, he caught the ball behind the three-point line and pump faked into a left-handed drive to the basket, beating Saxon to the hoop. So those are some of the key players and X's and O's that have propelled UConn to the Final Four. Dan Hurley's team is also very deep. I barely even mentioned the 7-footer Donovan Clingan, who comes off the bench and gives UConn a very different look inside. Clingan, Alex Caraban, Tristan Newton, Naheem Aline. They've all had good moments in the first 4 tourney games. It's all that depth combined with the star power that makes UConn the prohibitive title favorite as we head into the Final Four. Thank you very much for watching. We are officially less than 900 subscribers away from 100,000. Please hit that sub button if you haven't already, and thank you all for getting the channel to this point. It's greatly appreciated. I'll see you in the next one.
Oh my God, bro, I can't, bro, if you ever told me I was going to Final Four, I will never believe you. I can't believe it right now. I don't know what to say.